Okay, sorry about that. A couple of minutes late, but we're rolling. Okay, so welcome back to the D&D sessions. Where we left off last time, we had a little bit more of some chilled out energy. Alice and Penton decided to throw hands with each other, which definitely went well, and few other sort of social events occurred. So, where we left off last time, Alice, you had just been pulled aside by Mado for reasons that you are not completely aware of as of current. Oh shit, I remember. I think everybody else was back at the room, weren't they? Yes. Okay. So, Alice, you've been pulled aside by Mado, and you two are currently sitting in one of the more quieter rooms of the guild.
Okay.
Okay, so I'm having to readjust the audio. This is going well. This is going well. Where is it? I can't find the music for this.
The
there it is.
Romantic music.
That's a bit too dramatic.
We're
just going with this. So, Alice, Mado has not explained why he has pulled you aside. Do you want to ask him why?
Yeah, I mean, haven't really spoken too much, Mado. Any reason for a chat?
He seems a little bit awkward, but scratches the back of his head, like just under the helmet he's wearing. You and the rabbit guy. Certainly, yeah, certainly an amusing duo you make. But I thought I'd make it known that I offered to help you curb your rebellious spirit, but there might be a little bit more to it than that.
Oh wow. I appreciate the offer, and yeah, I don't quite know how you even recognised that rebellious side of me. I mean, I'm just a swordswoman. I was just a fighter, I was taking people's heads off. That's what I do. And Penton, he trains me to do it,
More like a somewhat narrow grin forms on his face. Well, if you're a bit more of a swordswoman, then how about this? Tell me, do you like what would you say you like more? You're a dark knight like myself. You're more of an axe woman, a sword woman. You're more of a scythe kind of person. Anything in particular?
Oh, I mean, swords are what I know best. I used to practice with them all the time. I'd go outside with my sister, and we would get sword fighting lessons, and yeah, I'd beat her up all the time.
He lets out an amused chuckle as you mention that. Yeah, sounds pretty similar to what me and my brother were like. I'm sure you know him well enough. He's a bit of a pacifist, Not the kind of guy that likes to rough and tumble, if you will.
Your brother is Father Bear, right?
Yeah. Oh, he goes by Father Bear, but I know him as Ursif. I'll always know him as Ursif. He's my brother.
Ursula.
Yeah.
Oh. Never knew he had another name. I suppose it's weird for his parents to call him Father Bear from birth.
Yeah, it's a bit of a long story, but I thought I'd offer you something. See, when me and Ursif were boys, we also used to sword fight. You know, a bit of combat training here, going and exploring caves together, me throwing a rock at the back of his head and getting him in trouble. You know, similar sort of deal.
Yeah.
But you notice that, despite the fact that me and my brother have got plenty of training with swords, we both carry axes.
Oh, is the axe the new way to go?
Well, I wouldn't call it the new way to go, but I would like to give you a gift. It's a personal favourite of mine, if you will. It's a sword that I used to use when I was learning how to... A sword that I used to train with when I was learning how to get used to being a Dark Knight. You know, the difficulties of having to balance using your dark side, all that abyssal magic kind of makes you hurt a bit afterwards, you know.
Yeah. Wow. Can she take the sword and swing it around a bit?
Yeah. So producing it from it's a similar sheath where he keeps his axe on his belt. There's a sheath on his back where he keeps his sword. So he detaches it from the belts that hold his shoulder armor on him, and hands you the weapon and the sheath. So, like, the whole weapon. Well,
What?
give it a swing about. Tell me what you think, and if it takes your fancy, you're welcome to use it.
Wow, it's really good. I mean, I really appreciate the gift. Thank you so much. I wasn't expecting it, you know. She swing it around.
You
Pretend
notice
to stab someone.
you notice that as you're swinging it about, the actual weapon itself is mostly comprised of obsidian. Let me just grab hold of it. So he continues talking. So I've noticed that you've got a bit of a problem when it comes to keeping your dark side up. Tell me, do you not have a weapon that's able to, like a leech weapon or a blood sword? Nothing like that?
No, I just have my my obsidian short sword.
Well,
I love it. It's so good. I've killed so many enemies with that sword. Did you know? You should watch me fight.
You certainly strike me as the kind of girl that likes to fight, and nothing
Yeah,
weird.
I'd win any battle.
Nothing weird meant by it, but it's certainly a interesting thing to watch, if you will.
Yeah, except the battle against Penton.
You call that a warrior? Trust me, darling, I could outpace him any day. Anyway.
Wow. One day I'll challenge you to a duel.
Well, out of a character, Alice, the weapon that you have been given, I've added it to your sheet, and it's dubbed Mado's longsword. Essentially, what it is a +2 longsword. It's got two.
Whoa!
It has two slots.
That's really good.
It has 2 slots on it, one of which is empty. The other gives the weapon the leech effect. So whenever you hit something with it, you are healed by 25% of the damage you deal. So if you just give you a straight up number. Say you do 8 damage. Every time you do 8 damage, you'll heal 2 HP back. If I just to kind of summarize it up for you.
What is the verse damage dice?
So basically, oh yeah, you don't remember what versatile weapon is, do you? So where it says versatile, basically you go from having it in one hand.
It's for the versatile one. Oh, okay.
Yeah. So if you're like using the versatile damage dice, you have the weapon in 2 hands, so you're 2-handing it rather than using it in 1 hand.
Yeah, no, sorry, I didn't quite realise what verse stood for.
That's alright.
Okay.
I'll just put a little summary in the thing for you. But feel free to carry on talking tomato and keep my brain active while I'm writing this for you.
Yeah. So, do you have any connections to Mace at all? Out of curiosity.
It's a bit of an awkward one to explain, but I suppose if you're willing to keep hush hush about it, I can tell you what connection I had with him.
Oh well, I can keep many secrets. So, you and Mado? You and Mace, even?
Hang on, I just really quickly want to type the summary up for you so you know what's what. He scratches the back of his head. Well, to summarise what happened between me and Ursif, or Father Bear. Goddamn clergy. Our father made us fight each other to find out who would be succeeding him to take over our tribe, and I won. But our father clearly didn't like the fact that I could have succeeded him if I had gotten my brother's help. So he decided to petrify me. And I would have been petrified for about 100 years from what I'd gathered after I'd been freed. Mace was the one that freed me from my petrification. Not exactly the most textbook sort of rescue or redemption, but if I'd known who Mace was at that point, I would have struck him down where he stood.
But he was nice to you. Well, you gave me the opportunity to take his head off, so I appreciate you for that.
Mado chuckles to himself. Well, let's put it this way. You seem to get quite aggressive at Penton for having a longer term affiliation with Mace, but you know, he doesn't seem to be too connected. So,
were you like lovers or something?
No, God no.
Nah, that sounds like a lie to me.
Trust me, darling. I've got my tastes, and he certainly don't fit it. I like women. I like them short, or I like them spunky. I like them full of energy, kind of like you. But I suppose I'll wait to see how your connection with good old Rabbit Boy over there goes. Anyway, I'll let you get on with it. I've got to.
I thought I came to the guild to learn how to fight better. Turns out I've come to the guild to be hit on by all the men.
Well, considering you got quite the energy, and
I don't quite know what I've done, but you know what? I'm not complaining so long as it gives me more opportunity to do lots of fighting, you know. And if they're mean to me, you know, I'm just gonna take their heads off.
That's the spirit. Anyway,
It really is.
we move on from there to. Who do I want to jump over to? I'm going to jump over to Milo and Karl, who are currently in the guild room. It seems quite quiet now after the training session. Alice, Penton, and Mado are not in the room. Father Bear is currently just reading through a book. Milo, what are you doing?
Which one do I go to?
Yep.
I'm going to have a brain moment and walk over to Father Bear because I forgot what I was going to do.
Understandable. Oh yeah, shit. That's what we had. We had multiple things plotted. That'll be Okay, so as you go over to Father Bear, he is currently reading through a few things. He's got a big old encyclopedia sort of laid out in front of him. He's reading.
Hey.
Oh, Milo, how are you doing?
Doing alright, I think.
Well, what brings you over to me?
I am concerned. How are you feeling?
Well, I can't say I feel the greatest, to be honest. It's been quite the ride. I'm worried about how Xanis and Cae are holding up.
Yeah.
If I remember correctly, you and Cae seem to be having a bit more interaction with each other. I'm not sure what's going on between you two, but it seems friendly. It's nice.
Yeah. She's a very nice girl, after all.
Well, we'll get her back. Don't worry.
Yeah.
Say, I don't suppose you'd appreciate a hug.
I mean, I wouldn't reject one. But
He lets out what I go and describe as a little huff through his nose, and opens up one arm to you, while keeping the other holding down his book page he's currently on.
Lana goes in for the hug, sitting beside him.
As you sit next to him, you get pretty much squeezed. I'm not sure the best way to describe it, but it's like a full on one-armed squeeze as he hugs you.
Long.
It'll be all right. I'm sure that Cae and Milo, well, the Cae and Milo friendship won't end so quickly. And as for Xanis, he's a smart kid. He'll keep them both out of trouble. So you don't need to worry about it too much. But I'm certainly here if you need the help. It's the least I can do.
Thank you.
With a light-hearted smile, Father Bear lets go of you and goes back to reading his book. And you're caught in thought for a moment until you hear Karl let out the loudest sneeze you ever heard. Like, it's a full-on. He tenses up and nearly falls over kind of sneeze.
Hashtag relatable. Hello.
Oh, my dear, that's a bit embarrassing. Excuse me, everyone. I didn't mean to be so loud.
Are you all right there, Karl?
Yes, brother. I'm quite all right. Just think I got a bit of fluff up my nose. Ugh. Say, brother, have you realized Rosemary's been a bit more how do I been a bit more of an aggressive mother hen lately?
He's going to get up from where he was sitting down and is going to walk over. Yes. She's definitely been more attentive.
Perhaps it's like Mother mentioned to us a while ago that it might be her breeding season.
Oh.
I'm a bit concerned to take Rosemary out. I was debating on going for another nice walk, but she's certainly been mother henning a lot more. I woke up yesterday and she was loafing on top of my back. I'm assuming she's been doing that to you quite a bit as well.
Yeah. Not as much as you. No.
Well, anyway, I don't suppose you'd mind coming with me to the infirmary, would you? I wanted to
not at all.
wanted to have a word with Priscilla about checking my lycanthropy. I must say it's a bit strange. It's almost like having I'm not sure how to describe it.
Sure.
Like I woke up this morning and I was really thinking about like a big behemoth steak like Mother used to cook for us. Remember when we were sick and she would go into the woods and go and find us some interesting plants with Granny Astra.
Yeah.
I wonder how they're doing. I miss being at home.
Yeah. Gran is going to be, well, probably mostly the same as she was. Not much changes with her.
Yeah, I suppose, brother. I wonder how Mother's doing. I know she was a little bit worried about us when we left, and we should write a letter to her after we come back from the infirmary. It'd be nice to hear from Mother.
Yeah. Some words of encouragement.
Yeah. And probably a reminder to make sure that we're sharp, that I'm sharpening my spear and that you're looking after your own health again, not stressing yourself out. The usual.
Yeah. Oh dear. Well, let's take you to the infirmary first.
So, Milo and Karl leave leave Rosemary in the room with the rest of you. Oh god, I pulled my headphone cable out. Well done. I yanked my headphone cable out when I sat up in the chair. Anyway. I hope that doesn't mess up the audio. Anyway, moving swiftly onwards, you make your way to the infirmary, leaving Rosemary with you. You find Priscilla tending to one of the patients in there, and she comes up to you and Karl. Well, now
Out of character.
Oh, yep.
Sorry.
Go ahead.
Out of character. Has Milo actually met Priscilla yet?
I would assume so. Yeah. Yeah,
Because
they would.
he
They would
didn't
have.
actually go into the infirmary last time.
That's a good point, actually. So, I think Milo would know of Priscilla, but I don't think they've actually directly met yet. Well, now how can I help you two adorable little sugar muffins?
Milo looks towards Karl, because really it's his business.
Oh, yes, you're right. I was wondering if I could get a checkup. And after this, Priscilla just scribbles down something on a notebook, or I can't think of what it's called. Clipboard. There you go. That's the word. Writes something down on the clipboard, and leads you and Karl into a checkup room. And during the whole thing, she runs a few checks, and pretty much your standard check-in reflexes. And she deems that Karl is fine before getting called by a familiar voice to you, Milo. Priscilla is called by Milky to go and help with one of the other patients. Leaving you and Karl alone in the room. Well, brother, she says I'm fine, apparently. What do we do now, I guess?
Well, I mean, I guess in terms of your lycanthropy, you'd probably have to ask someone a little bit more knowledgeable. I don't exactly know the ins and outs, just some very basics. But maybe asking, or maybe going to the library.
That could certainly help. I would ask Jasper, but he doesn't really seem like he knows what he's doing with his lycanthropy yet.
Definitely not.
As he hops off the examination table and starts to leave the room. And as you two walk out of the checkup room, you notice down the hallway there's a door that's left slightly cracked open. And it really weirdly blends in with the end of the hallway. So if that door was closed, you wouldn't be able to tell that there was a door at the end of the hall. Say, brother, did you see that?
Yes.
Do we investigate it, brother, or should we just mind our own business? It seems a bit strange to have a magically disappearing door at the end of a hallway.
I mean, why not? Although let's try not get caught by Priscilla or Milky. I don't think they probably appreciate us invading other patients, or if this is impacting other patients, or maybe even a storeroom.
Yes, that makes a lot of sense. Anyway, let's go and investigate. And as you walk down the hall and enter the room, you find a young man with kind of auburnish coloured hair and soft blue eyes, whose legs are currently exposed, there are horrific looking slash marks from like some sort of knife that almost have like almost a surgical cleanliness to how they've been cut. And there's a lot of like charts and clipboards hung up on one of the walls detailing very, very finicky like surgeries to reconnect nerve endings. Whoever attacked this young man appears to have pretty damn good knowledge about the human nervous system. Well, human nervous system, yeah. As the cuts along this young man's legs are almost perfect in the way they've been done, and if they are as deep as you would presume they are, going from your perspective here, Milo, from what it looks like, the depths of those cuts, it would have severed the majority of the nerves in the young man's legs. Well, can I help either of you two? You don't seem like Priscilla or Milky.
Oh. Sorry for intruding.
Oh,
We were rather curious.
It's quite alright. Tell me then, who are you two? I've met this interesting young girl who brought me a thing, and he kind of waves his hand over to the table. It looks like some sort of very strange savoury muffin has been left there.
I'm Milo Dragon. It's great. Nice to meet your acquaintance.
Well, it's a pleasure to meet you both. And who might you be? And he looks over to Karl. This is my brother, Milo. I'm Karl. And I'm assuming that's you giggling at Karl's expense there, Milo. As Karl's face goes like slightly red from its normal peachy colour. As Alistair carries on. My name is Alistair, or you can just call me Al, as it seems like Priscilla is intentionally trying not to use my actual name. You two seem like quite an interesting duo. Tell me, you said your last name is Dragon. Would that be related to what was her name again?
Karina?
The champion of Anima right now. I think her name was Karina? Something
Yes,
along that
that
line.
would be correct. She is our mother.
Oh, well, it's a pleasure to meet you both.
It's a pleasure to meet you too.
Anyway, I think Priscilla said she'd be back in a few minutes, so please, please vacate. I don't want either of you to get in trouble. Pleasure to meet you both, though.
You too. Quickly leave the room as we went out there.
Yeah, Karl follows suit, and the two of you end up very quickly replicating the "Don't be suspicious" skit.
Don't be suspicious.
As you two leave the infirmary.
Oh dear.
Anyway, moving swiftly onwards. The two of you return to the room, whilst you see that Mado is also heading away, but Alice has headed back towards the arena, presumably to test out this what seems like a new weapon she's currently carrying, and is kind of eyeing up the blade of. As the two of you as you, Mado, and Karl re-enter the room, Father Bear is still reading his book, and it seems like Mira has taken to her usual self of striking up a conversation with Jasper. So, Mira and Jasper are currently having a conversation in this room. Father Bear is sitting on the bed reading a book. Mado has kind of just scooted in past you two from the doorway and is sitting next to Father Bear reading over his shoulder. Karl ends up going over to his bed and pulls out a small book. What are you gonna do, Milo?
I'm just gonna go over to his bed.
His bed, as in there are multiple he's in this room. Which bed are you going over to?
Milo's bed.
Okay. So, Karl is scribbling something down in a little notebook before he leans over to Milo and whispers, "Brother, do you think did you think he was how do I word it? Interesting. I think that's what a mother used to say, was it? I don't know, I can't think straight right now. It's weird."
Milo blinks in confusion. Interesting?
Karl goes a little redder in the face and basically starts poking his index fingers together. Well, he was quite charming, I guess. He seems very sweet. Do you think I should try and talk to him again at some point, or do you reckon we should just ignore that we found some random boy in the end of the hallway?
Well, Milo has this weird smile. It basically, imagine colon 3.
Yeah.
So, well, if you want to see him again, I'm not going to stop you, brother.
Well, I might try and get back in contact with him. He seems to have a lot of interesting energy about him. Anyway, jumping over from the room, we go back to the arena where Alice has returned.
Yes. Do I just walk into the room?
Yeah, well, I mean, it's a sparring arena for literally anybody in the guild. So, you know, first come, first serve sort of thing. And you can use any of the training dummies here, or, you know, do as you will. It would seem like you're the only one here.
Mm-hmm.
After Mado kind of half dragged you off earlier, it seems as though Penton has vacated the area and has wandered off somewhere. But
Well, I'll test the new sword on one of the training dummies then.
okay, so as you're you don't need to.
Okay.
So as you're just testing the weapon against the training dummy, you hear a voice call out to you. Ugh. Sorry, accent stuck in my mouth. Well now, aren't you quite the Spitfire? And you look over to the other side of the arena where someone's just entered, and I want you to roll a perception check for a moment to see whether you actually pay proper attention to who this is.
Okay. Perception. 11.
11. Okay. So, for a minute you think it's Penton that's re-entered the arena, but your brain... So, you realize that it's not the same voice. But there is now there is another rabbit folk who has just entered the room, and he doesn't seem to be carrying any weapons on him, but he has a very interesting looking pair of gloves, and it has an attire that kind of makes you think of a monk, something similar to that, like a martial arts monk. Well, I suppose I'll introduce myself first. My name's Reggie. Although most people call me Reg, or no, I'll keep the introduction at that. Can't have the ladies bursting too early. So tell me, you're one of the Powers family, aren't you?
Yes, I am. My name's Alice. Lovely to meet you, Reggie.
Well, from what I've heard from Lupus, your family are quite popular affiliates with our guild, unlike your mother's sister and I guess your cousin. They don't seem to be very popular here. But you certainly seem to be having fun with the gentleman now, don't you?
Ah, you talking about Mira and Felicity? Yeah, I've heard many stories, but I promise they're really nice people. You know, you've got to get to know them a little bit. I love Mira so much.
Well, I can certainly quite understand where you're coming from there. But I must know. You seem to have a couple of men chasing after you at the moment, but I'm curious. Have you ever slept with another man? Sorry, probably a bit TMI, but I have to know. I'm curious.
I literally don't know who you are. This is... Wow. I mean, maybe I'll tell you if you practice some sword fighting with me.
Well, sounds like we've got quite the deal then. By the way,
I
I
don't
should
just
tell
give
you
away- I
Oh,
don't
sorry.
just give away information for free.
Oh, Missy, don't present me with a challenge. Anyway, shall we? And to your concern, he doesn't actually pull out any weapons of any sort. He just raises his fists.
Mm-hmm.
So as you go, I'm assuming you're taking the first swing here.
Okay.
So as you're running forward, are you using the short sword or the long sword?
Oh, the longsword, obviously.
Okay. Well, as you run up to him, you go and swing the blade at him in your typical fashion of either trying to decapitate or at least do as much damage as possible. And much to your surprise, Reggie catches the blade in his hands and twists it, completely wrenching it from your grip before dropping it before it hits the floor. He then proceeds to start quite literally throwing his fists, but every single one misses, aside from a kick that he throws that seems to have very little power to it, but taps you on the rear. And that, my dear, is why you don't give me a challenge, because I will always rise to the occasion. Just like I'll rise for certain other things, but anyway. I'm curious, tell me tell me, how are you gonna decide between the rabbit man and the bear? They both seem quite interested in you.
You didn't even let me roll to hit. This is very unfair. This really is not the... Fine, I guess I'll keep my promises. I don't know. I've never been with a man before. Never really been like that interested in them, but I don't know. Penton kind of shows me a more rebellious side, and
Hmm.
I like that side of me.
Well, I can certainly
Being a
tell.
noble.
Well, let me offer a little bit of advice from someone who's been around the block a couple of times, shall we say. Now, what's the good advice to offer? I suppose the best thing I can offer you at the moment is that whichever one of them you settle on, should you need a little bit of advice around the time when you decide to bed one of them, I'm more than happy to lend my encyclopedia of knowledge. Anyway, I should stop taunting you and let you get on with your practice. Have a good evening. And
Can I ask? Oh,
no, go ahead.
who are you?
Well, my name is Reggie.
Yeah, I got that far.
Yes, I suppose I should give you my full name then, seeming as I might be one that you need to remember. I'm Reggie Corneal. I am one of the people that the Guildmaster used to travel with before he was able to break away from his delusional mother years ago. Quite the interesting story, but I can tell you that I was one of the first that applied when this guild came up. And I've got to say, it's quite the entertaining thing. Be it the fresh faces, the certainly interesting applicants, and, well, the challenges, the fun, the drama, most importantly, the very, very interesting applicants. And he has a very, very sly smirk on his face.
I guess I'll see you around, maybe? Maybe you can teach me how to do that cool grabbing sword thing.
Darling, I know plenty of grabbing swords. Oh dear, I shouldn't let my tongue slip too far. Oh, these are just rolling off of themselves, and he wanders away, just chuckling to himself, leaving a little bit confused as to why this guy is a bit more on the perverse side, but certainly an interesting warrior if he was able to disarm you that quickly. Do you want to carry on sparring here, just so I know where Alice will be?
Yeah, sure, why not?
Okay.
Unless it would be better for her to be in the main room.
That's up to you. What would you like to have Alice be doing?
Well, Alice would probably be... Chuck, don't stand on my laptop. Alice would probably be sparring. Sorry.
Okay. So...
The cat approached.
So we'll jump over to Penton, who where we last left off with was out in the courtyards and just had a bit of a confusing interaction with the Guildmaster. Are you going to be returning to the guild room, or are you going to continue to have a bit of a wander outside? You are muted, Penton. There you go.
I guess continue to wander.
Okay, so... Do you intend to pursue the guild master after that rather confusing interaction you just had with him?
Probably not. Just let it lie.
Okay. So really, that's all I needed to ask. Okay, so we go back to the main room where we have Mira, Jasper, Milo, basically everybody that isn't Alice and Penton is currently in this room. We'll go over to Mira and Jasper. As you two are having a lovely conversation, you've seen Maida return, you've seen Milo and Karl return. Karl looks a little bit flustered, and he's having an interesting conversation with Milo. Mado and Father Bear appear to be reading a book together, which is surprisingly wholesome activity. As you and Jasper have been having a conversation about Jasper's family, to be specific.
Jasper, you really must tell me more about everything about your family. I mean, it all just sounds a little bit chaotic, but a lot of our families are chaotic in that way.
Yes, it is at times, isn't it? Yeah. But I don't really know what to talk about, to be honest.
Well, I know that you have a brother, but what about the rest of your family? Who else is there?
The eldest is Harriet. She's, annoying, but she kind of takes control of everything. Then's Virgil, who wants to be Harriet, but he's not. Then's Robert, Simon, and me. We're basically best friends.
I see.
And then there's Belle, the youngest. She's lovely. Only 2 years younger than me.
Oh, I see. It does sound like, well, there's a lot going on there. I mean, I'm an only child, but a lot of my extended family there's quite a lot there. So I guess we're the same but different in that regard. Like, well, my mother is Felicity Atisa, who is, well, the leader of the Calaris Trading Islands. And then my dad is Tuck, the famous Tuck. And then my grandmother is Edith Rosewood, who basically almost destroyed the entire world, but that's not really something we need to go into because she's nice now. And then my step-grandfather is the Barefoot, he's really cool. And then my great-grandfather is a mad lich called Kazaroth, but he's actually a really nice guy once you get to know him. Though he does kind of look at me weird sometimes.
Way crazier than mine, I've got to admit. Miria,
Yeah.
that's insane.
Yeah, a lot of people say my
lich?
family's a bit weird.
Yeah, definitely.
But it's okay, I love every single one of them. They're all good people in their own right. Well, yeah.
Let me just roll a couple of things in the background. Mira and Jasper, you two have been having a conversation for quite a while. Are you two going to continue said convo, or are you going to go and chase after some other errands that you may or would consider be doing? I can't word today.
Let's go do some other things.
Yeah.
While we're talking, I noticed Milo, and I realised I wanted to have a conversation with him. So I wait for my moment to strike.
You are welcome to jump in, as the two twins appear to just be mumbling to each other while Karl is semi-frantically scribbling some things down in a notebook. Looks a bit flustered. So you are welcome to jump over and I'm assuming going to have a word with Milo. Yeah.
I'm gonna. Excuse me, Milo.
Jasper, what is it?
I wanted to have a conversation with you about things.
All right. Do you want to take this somewhere else, or
I'll just sort of gesture over to a corner because I'm not gonna be like let's just run into the boss and yell at you or something, you know. So I'm just gonna gesture over to the corner and be like, let's just over here.
Milo rises from the bed and walks over to the corner and become one with the corner.
Yes. Okay, yeah. So, you two move up and over to the corner. Karl kind of looks over to you, Milo, but doesn't really speak up and just continues, continues to scribble down in his notebook. It's kind of amusing, to some extent, because it's the first time in a while that you've seen Karl act like this. But you go to have your conversation in the corner.
So, what is it, Jasper?
Yes, it's funny because when you plan what you want to say beforehand, and then when it gets to it, you basically I just noticed that you seem to be kind of avoiding me a lot, and I'm really sorry about attacking everyone and Karl, and I'm probably gonna have a talk with Karl later of just a formal apology. But I just wanted to say that I didn't want to hurt anyone, and yeah, that's about it. I'm sorry.
Milo takes a deep sigh because the one that I didn't pick up. All right. I'm gonna be honest, I don't really like you, Jasper. It's gonna take a lot more than a simple apology to win my trust back again.
Right, yeah, that's fine. I understand totally. But yeah,
Is that
that's
everything?
it. Yeah, that's it. Thanks.
All right. Milo proceeds to walk back over to his bed.
Okay.
Jasper breathe once. Jasper.
So a brief exhale.
Done.
Okay. Moving over to where Mira has left the room during a conversation. Where have you gone to, Mira?
I'm going to the place where Alice is sparring is it the Colosseum? I forget.
Yeah.
The Colosseum.
Oh, fancy the Colosseum. Let's go.
Oh wow, people fighting in the Colosseum? That's nuts.
I know, right? So,
wow.
So Mira, on the very very basic presumption that Alice is probably sparring still, you end up wandering into the Colosseum, where Alice is currently trying to decapitate a straw-filled dummy that's got a metal pole through the middle of it, and she's not having very, very much luck, but I don't think she's processed yet that the material on those dummies is self-regenerating, so she keeps stabbing it over and over again, and the hole keeps disappearing every time she sticks a sword through it. Are you going to approach Alice?
Yeah. In a safe distance, so she doesn't actually accidentally whack me.
She doesn't accidentally decapitate you.
Yeah. But like, decapitation, we did it. Oh, it's Maria. Awkward. Awkward. Oh my god. Okay. Alice, you did know it's got regenerative properties, right? You won't actually get through it like that.
I'm gonna kill it! It will die! Alice for the win! She's gonna decapitate it! Yeah!
Alice, it was never allowed to begin with, and it has a metapole in it, which means your sword is just going to whack off in it. It's going to be really bad for the sword, and I think you should go get it repaired after this.
What
be
do
honest,
you
I don't
want, Mira?
I just wanted to talk.
Oh, okay.
Because you've
Well,
kind of been
put the sword away.
distracted lately.
Distracted? I've
Yeah.
literally been practicing with my fancy new sword. Do you like it?
Yeah, it's great. Where did you get it from? Please don't
This
say
man.
Penton.
No. I got it from Mado.
From Mado?
Yeah.
You spoke to him?
Well, he spoke to me and he gave it to me, like, for free. Because
Oh.
I'm a noble and that.
Have you checked to see if it's been cursed or not?
No, I was just playing with it.
Can I roll to see if it's been cursed or something?
That'll be a Arcana check.
Arcana, okay. 15.
Yeah, as you take a look over it, no. It seems perfectly fine.
Huh.
There's nothing really
Well,
suspicious about it.
fine.
It's just the sword.
Well, it looks fine. So I guess you can use it. But you shouldn't be taking random things off people, you know.
It was a gift, like a birthday present, you know?
But it's not your birthday.
No, but, like, it was a present.
Right, and why did he give it to you as a present?
Dunno, because I'm nice.
Okay, well, if you say
Also,
so, but...
Another man approached me, Mira, and he's called Reggie, and he looks like Penton. But
Oh my
he
goodness.
wasn't Penton, he was Reggie.
And what did he say to you?
Oh, he was just trying to teach me how to, like, sword fight better, you know?
Right. Okay, well, as long as you're okay, then that's fine.
Yeah, I'm great. How are you?
Well, I guess it could be better.
What? Why?
You can't tell anyone, okay? Promise?
I don't tell anyone anything ever.
Okay, well, you have to pinky promise.
Okay, pinky promise.
Because remember, if you break a pinky promise, that means I get to chop your pinky off.
Well, that's a good thing I got 2 of them.
That doesn't. No, that. No, okay, fine. Well, I saw Godfather one night, and. Well, he said that my mother had written him a letter. And. Well. He said that my father had killed one of the butlers at my house.
What?
And. Well, now she won't let me come home.
So, your father, Tuck, killed one of the butlers, and now you can't go home?
Yeah, and the problem is that it sounds like that this isn't a first occurrence. I mean, Asta said that Tucker got someone else killed as well. And, well, I always knew that Father didn't like Godfather that much, but everything just seems to be pointing to Father not being that good of a person, you know?
But why can't you go home?
I suppose Mother fears that he may do something. He attacked her.
What? Why doesn't she just, like, kick him out? You know, like, just kick him out?
I wish it were that simple, but things don't work that way on Caleris. There'd be a huge scandal.
If someone did that to me, I would chop their head off.
Again, I think that would make a massive scandal worse than everything that's going on right now.
Maybe. Well, you know, Mira, you can always come to my house.
Yeah. It makes me wonder if that was me coming to your house before we left was part of the ploy to make me escape. It sounds like the father didn't actually agree to me coming here.
And even your mother can come to my house. You know, I'm sure she's still besties with my mother.
Of course she is, but she does still need to run Calaris.
But she can run Calaris from, like, all over the world, you know?
She can't do it virtually. Zoom hasn't been invented yet.
No, but, like... She could, like, send letters with pigeons. Flying chocobos.
I mean, she does have it. Offensive sex.
Take a moment to recoup mentally. Fucking Zoom. Anyway, come on, ladies,
Oh my God.
recoup and
Well,
roll into
He
it.
does have a spell that lets her create chocobos, but I mean,
But there we
it only
go! She can send the little chocobos with their little notes and run.
But if she does leave, then Father could take over and say that she's abandoned her post. I mean, I know Cassandra might be able to do something, but Tuck would still have more authority than her.
I'll go chop his head off.
I don't think he'll be able to do that. He's too small compared to you.
Are you kidding? I am an inch shorter than you.
Yeah, and he's really small.
Yeah, but I'm an inch shorter than you.
Yeah, but he's really tiny. I don't know why I'm so tall when he's so tall. When he's so tiny, I mean.
You should really be shorter than me.
I know, right? It's kind of weird. I mean, he's like not even 5 foot. It's kind of weird.
Oh. That is kind of weird.
He's a bit of a midget. I mean,
Well, I know that... Go on.
Well, I've heard some people say that my mother possesses something called the MILF gene. And people say that maybe I'm so tall because I inherited it from my mother. I don't know what it means though. I don't know what MILF stands for.
Okay, it's MILF. So,
Yeah.
made in
Loving family.
families. Made in loving families.
Yeah, I mean that would make sense. I mean,
You
yeah.
were made in a loving family.
I was made in a loving family. I mean, I know that my mother is the product of an affair. But I mean, Edith
she
really
was
loves her
not
now.
made in a loving family.
But she has a loving family now, and that might be why she has the MILF gene.
Yeah. Well,
And
we're
yeah.
too smart for this world.
And I have a really loving family, so that must mean that the MILF gene is really prominent in me, and that's why I'm so tall.
We figured it out.
Oh my God, Alice, I love you so much. We figured it out. We are.
We did. We are so smart.
We are geniuses.
This scene is going nowhere productive.
Anyway.
Oh
God. Okay, well, as you two are having your delightful conversation in the Colosseum, we jump back to the guild room, where Karl comes over to Milo, and very awkwardly looks to the left, to the right, and then turns his notebook around, and inside is a small sketch of the face of the boy that you two found at the end of the corridor behind a hidden wall. Brother, do you think this is do you think that's accurate, or I don't know?
Yes, brother. There is a striking likeness.
Well, I'm thinking I might I might go for a walk. I'm feeling a bit warm. And like he grabs hold, like hooks a finger under the scarf around his neck and kind of pulls at it slightly, as though he's physically too warm.
All right.
Anyway, I was wondering, brother, since since the guild got attacked, have you been okay?
I've been all right. I've been missing Cae. I just hope that she and Xanis are all right. Who knows what Mace could be doing to them.
I think they'll be fine. I remember the guildmaster said that he was worried about them, but didn't he have like half of the guild preparing to go and find them?
Yep.
I have an idea. Do you remember for one of our birthdays we got each other these scarves?
Yes.
What if we took Rosemary with us and went into the town to go and buy a scarf for Cae? I'm sure she'd like it. So
Bar has this very faint blush on his cheeks that has just appeared.
Aww, wholesome. So the two of you go back to the room. Karl has the little notebook in hand and closes the pages as Alice and Mira seem to be on their way back from the Colosseum in a very very deep. Well, I say deep. They seem deep in conversation, but from what you can overhear, their conversation is definitely not anything deep or philosophical in any way, shape, or form.
Oh my god. What details do we hear, if any?
You hear them talking about each other's homes, and a lot of Mira proposing very strange ideas, followed by Alice trying to justify it in a strange way that doesn't make sense, but if you just take it at face value, could make sense in another universe.
Yeah, your home would be great if it had a water slide in it.
Right, I mean, we could get between the rooms like so quickly, and it'd be so cool. Plus, it would really help with like energy flow, for example. I mean, who needs to have candles when we can just like have a little turbine that spins all the time, and then when we go through it like whacks you in the head. Yeah, exactly. It'd be so quick to get to the top and bottom floor. Water lift.
Yeah. We wouldn't need to take stairs, we could take the water slide.
The water slide. Screw stairs. I am done with stairs. I don't want to see stairs at home again.
As you two are having a conversation and approaching, you see Milo and Karl have gone into the room and are now leaving the room with a mildly frustrated looking Rosemary in tow, and Karl stacks it, and the little sketch, or I say sketchbook, the little notebook hits the floor.
Oh no.
What?
And like when the book hits the floor, it kind of skids and ends up landing halfway between the two ladies and the dragon twins. As a few seconds after Karl stacks it, Rosemary kind of like half picks him up by grabbing the back of his shirt with her beak and picks him up off the floor. And Milo, you can see the look of desperation in Karl's face as he's having like fight or flight reaction of, do I sprint for the book?
He's going for the book. He's going for the book. He's going for the book. He's going for the book.
Do I see what's on the book?
There is nothing on the book. The book is currently closed.
Can I grab it
Maria,
first?
go be a nice person and pick up the book.
I'm going to go pick up the book for Karl.
I'm picking up the book.
I'm picking up the book.
I can't.
All three of you sprint for the book, and I want you all to roll. I'm gonna have all of you roll a D20 without bonuses, not just a straight D20 to see which one of you gets to the book first and picks it up.
I rolled a 20.
Oh, fuck you.
Oh no.
I'm not sprinting for the book.
Milo, what did you roll?
Well, not a 20.
Okay, well...
Not anywhere close.
Karl rolled an 8, so...
I rolled an 11.
Oh, so Milo, you start going for the book to pick it up for Karl. Karl's being a little bit dazed from literally just stacking it over what he thinks there's a... goes for the book and ends up stumbling a little bit. But Mira, you go straight for that book like it's something you're so used to doing, like knocking a book off of the shelf in the library and in the Caleris library. Well, I say the Caleris library, the Atisa Estate Library, and having to try and catch it before Tuck hears the book, or your father hears the book hit the floor. Yeah, tongue-tied. Like, it's second nature to try and catch the book as it's falling. You pick up the book. The book is currently closed, but it has Karl's name inscribed on the front of it. Are you going to give him back his book?
Can I open it first? Just be like, oh, Kyle! Kyle!
Right, Kyle!
Oh, Kyle!
Fucking hell!
Oh my god.
It's not a hard name, woman!
Oh my god.
Come on, son.
Okay, so...
Well, I've always wanted to see what kind of things you've been sketching. I mean, I do sketches myself, and I'm gonna open up the most recent page.
Milo is approaching.
Karl is rapidly approaching and looking very, very annoyed as you open his sketchbook and find a sketch of a very familiar face. That being Alistair. And it's a very, very accurate and detailed sketch.
Where did you get this inspiration from?
I'd like to ask you something. If Karl were to attempt to snatch said book from you, considering it is his personal notebook / diary that you are currently traipsing through, are you going to try and fight him for the book?
No.
Okay, well, very rapidly, Karl approaches looking extremely angry, rips the book from your hands, and scowls at you. Rosemary is letting out some very upset sounds, and looks like she's about to tackle you. Why are you opening my personal book? What is wrong with you? Seriously.
I thought it was just a normal sketchbook.
So you just
you
go
can look
through
at mine
people's
if
things?
you want.
You just
I'm
go through
sorry.
people's things like it's nothing. What's wrong with you, Mira? Seriously.
A lot of things, if you ask people. It's not the first time I've had that.
Oh, great. And it certainly won't be the last, it seems, Atisa. Great.
Karl just looks. If he didn't know better, he would have swung. Kind of look on his face as he storms off with the book, with Rosemary in tow. You go through my stuff again, Mira, and I'll do to you what my mother used to do to your mother years ago. Watch your kneecaps. And he storms out of the guild entrance, kind of leaving Milo in the dust.
Can I go to Lupus?
You certainly may.
I'm going to Lupus.
I was going to follow after Carl.
And I'm going to stand in confusion.
Yep, that sounds about right.
Everyone
Yeah, that sounds like Alice.
Alice.
Poor Alice.
Alice is just like, what the fuck just happened? So,
Yeah.
Milo, you go after Karl, who has left and is like, you are now on Rosemary, as Rosemary just kind of half slung you over her back and is chasing after Karl like something out of a zombie apocalypse movie level of aggression of get back here, you little shit. Mira, you've gone straight to Lupus's office, and Alice, you're just kind of there, really confused because this has all happened so quickly.
Yes.
So, we'll jump to wherever you want to go first, Alice. Where are you actually heading to after this? Are you going to go after Mira? Are you going to go back to the room and try and find out what the hell just happened? Or are you going to go after Milo and Karl? What do you want to do?
Me?
Yeah, what do you want to do?
Sorry.
Do you want to follow Mira? Do you want to go after Milo and Karl? Do you just want to go back to the room and try and
probably
investigate?
follow Mira, but not at any kind of speed.
Okay, so you're just kind of meandering after Mira, who I'm assuming is full on sprinting it towards.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so we'll
I'm
start.
not leaving anything to chance.
Okay, well we'll start with you then, Mira. You have full on pelted it towards Lupus's office, and the door is open, and it appears that Lupus is currently having conversation with a couple of the elites.
Godfather, it's kind of urgent. I'm sorry, I know you're probably having a meeting, but can I talk to you on your own, please?
I'm in the middle of a meeting. What is so important that you feel the need to interrupt?
It's related to
Spit it out.
to the letter.
Right. He lets out a very frustrated sounding sigh of irritation before addressing the other people in the room. Right, Nova, Storm, and Andrew, can you just leave for a minute? We'll have to work out the plans to expand some of the guild underground a bit more later. And the three other males in the room leave. Yeah, words. So it's now just you, a closed door, and Lupus. There you go.
I promise I didn't tell anyone, so I don't know how it happened, but Karl and Milo, they found out about Alistair.
What?
Well, Karl dropped his notebook, and when I had a look inside, there was a creepily detailed sketch of Alistair in there. I don't know how they found out. I didn't tell them.
You interrupted my meeting for something so menial. Are you serious right now?
Well, it sounded important to me.
I forget you're an Atisa. You don't take other people's priorities before your own. Mira, it doesn't matter if the dragon twins know. I'm assuming your mother hasn't told you about what your family's history is all about. Let's just say that your mother, being a super powerful mage, goes through her family, goes through my family, goes through Karina's family, and a fair few other families that are either in this guild or that myself, Nova, and the other elites have found out about. It's fine if the dragon twins know. It doesn't matter that much. I'll remind Milky and Priscilla to make sure they're closing the door. But please, for the love of everything, can you at least let me have my meetings in peace? There should have been a note on the door.
There wasn't.
Are you sure you checked? Because
No.
there definitely was a note on that door that said I'm in the middle of a meeting.
Okay, but you told me to not tell anyone, and I thought if
I
someone
told
found
you.
out.
I told you not to tell anyone. You and your mother share the trait of being absolute blathermouths. You can't keep a secret in to save your lives. Your mother did the
Yes.
same thing with Tuck. She did the same thing with convincing a lot of people that your father was a good man when he wasn't. I'll put it that way so I don't upset you further. If you're going to be here for the foreseeable, I need you to at least respect some space, please. I understand if it sounds important, but there is a point where you can wait. There are points where you can come and speak to me during the Guildhall's dinner. Or, during any meals of the day that the Guild end up having together, you could come and approach me. During the middle of a meeting, Mira, doesn't help.
Hello?
Oh, God.
Are
Yes,
what,
Alice.
what are you guys... What... Are you in an important meeting?
I was in an important meeting, yes, Alice, but your cousin
It
decided
said it
to
on the
interrupt.
door, so I asked.
Thank you. Someone reads. You might not have the brains, darling, but you'll certainly be like your mother one day.
See, I can read Mirror.
I'm sorry.
You should be. I appreciate that you're concerned. I appreciate that it seems like something of importance to you, Mira. But you have to remember, I am the Guildmaster. I have things to run and deal with outside of your group. Maybe a high priority group, but you have Father Bear and Mado there to help you now. So, please leave my office unless there's something else of an urgent and pressing matter.
Okay.
Shoot. And he waves his hands like he's shooing a dog.
Guess we'll leave.
I don't want to talk about it.
As you two leave, Lupus's face is in his hands, like he's trying to fend off a migraine or some sort of headache. Which is ironic considering I'm now getting a headache. So we jump over to Milo, who is currently on the back of Rosemary. Yeah, pretty much you're being bounced about on Rosemary's back because you're not actually straddled in properly.
I'm gripping on for dear life, I tell you.
Yes. So Rosemary stops, and fortunately enough, you are in the right position where you don't immediately get slungshot off her back. But you find Karl sitting in a small little park-like area. There's a few trees, a small pond, and a couple of benches by the ponds. Do you want to approach him, or do you want to leave him to his business?
I'll approach him with Rosemary.
Okay. As you approach, he looks up almost as though startled. Oh, it's you, brother. Sorry,
Don't apologise.
But I shouldn't have sketched him. But it does seem like Mira's been hiding things. That's the one thing that I can't get out of my mind from this. I had my suspicions on Penton, but didn't think that, Mother would be right about the Atesis.
Well, lessons learned provides us more wisdom for the future.
Now you're starting to sound like Grandma. Brother, I've been thinking. Not about home, not about potential interesting people that I might like.
Mhm.
I've been thinking a lot, and do you remember when Granny Astra used to tell us about the adventures she went on?
Yes.
Do you remember that she didn't really say much about Mira's dad? It's a lot starting to click now, and she never really mentioned anything about Mira's dad. It's a bit
No.
weird, isn't it?
I guess they must have not gotten along or something. I mean, he doesn't sound to be the greatest of people, or even the greatest father.
Well, how do I say? I bumped into one of the elites
Oh,
on my way down here. It was what was his name again? His fur was like red. What was his name? Ah, I remember. His name, Crimson. He was telling me about Mira's dad, and I'm worried about what our missions are going to be in future, considering the reputation he has. I'm starting to think that maybe the mother and grandma not telling us about him much is starting to make a lot of sense.
yeah. Maybe we can try and see if we can pry any information out of Gran if we send her a letter.
Yeah. I don't understand why she had to open my book. I don't go reading through her things. Why does she feel the need to do the same? It's not fair. I just want to like the other people in this group. I was suspicious of Penton, but I'm starting to push past that now. He seems like he's okay. Him and Xanis seem to be getting along alright now. So
Yeah.
he's not all bad, and I know that you're not very happy with Jasper, but I know he kind of deserves the way that you view him, but I don't mind being a werewolf. It's kind of cool. There's just a lot I'm worried about, brother. And sorry, I'm probably rambling on.
It's alright.
When we get Cae back, I want you to make me a promise, brother.
Promise?
Yes. Like we used to do when I don't want to bring it up, but when me, you, and Annalise used to spend time together, she made us make pinky promises to be best friends.
Yeah.
Remember that?
Yeah.
I want to make a promise like that. When we get Cae back, tell her how you feel. Because I've seen the way that you look at her, and You two could be good friends. It's
Yeah.
not really. You two like medicine, but it seems more like a. What sort of work friendship? Sorry. I gotta remember that we haven't actually got either of them back yet.
Yeah.
I do worry though. It seems like, again, the only ones we can really trust now are each other. I don't know about Father Bear and Mado. Father Bear seems like he's trying, but I'm just concerned, a little bit confused, and I don't know. It just makes my head hurt thinking about everything.
Yeah. Oh well.
Anyway, do you think I was a bit much when I snapped?
Of course not. I, for one, think it was personally reasonable. It is your personal belongings, after all.
Yeah. Anyway, I suppose we should either head back or at least. Wait, we haven't gone to go scarf shopping yet. Why don't we do that?
Yes.
Take my mind off of everything. And almost as though to butt in, you hear Rosemary go, and proceed to try and climb on top of Karl and loaf while on a bench, and the whole bench just goes over. Like, it's almost like something out of a comedy sketch. Just Rosemary jumps onto the bench, Karl starts backing up the bench going, Rosemary, no, and then and the whole thing goes over.
Milo bursts out into laughter. Just pure, actual cackling.
As this is happening, you hear a very familiar voice call over. For clarification, out of character, it's been about, by the time you found Karl, it would have been about 5 minutes, at least 5-10 minutes after Mira and Alice were in Lewis' office. Just for clarification of what's about to happen. But you find the person hollering at you both is Lupus, who looks a little bit out of breath, but it seems like he's literally just sprinted from the guild. Dear Lord, I need to drink some more water. I got a little bit of information from Mira that you two have been poking about. I'd ask that you two keep what you saw a secret, please.
Yeah, that's fine.
I apologize. I've been dealing with a lot of back and forth with Caleris lately, so not exactly the most professional way of doing it. But if you two could keep it to yourselves, I will allow a few more visits. Though, be aware that you two will be in a bit of trouble.
We understand.
So you'll have to make sure that you do well when we go to find Mace, because not the most trustworthy thing poking your noses in other places. But me and your mother and me and your little God, it feels weird calling Ashtra a grandmother, but me and your family get along pretty well, so I'll let it slide this once, but please don't do it again in future.
Okay.
Thank you. Anyway, I need to go and find your resident conman because he's wandered off somewhere. If you two could head back after you're done with whatever you're doing, we've got a pretty interesting update on our most recent information. So, I've arranged a meeting. I just thought I'd let you two know that it's occurring.
Okay.
Have fun. And as Lupus starts walking away, he then turns on his heel, back to you both. Oh yes, one other thing. Your mother sent a gift, sent us a little something for you both. Catch. And
Yep.
Lupus throw something in your general direction, Milo. Are you going to try and catch
Oh,
it?
I'm going to try and catch it, but I don't. Let's see. Am I about to pick up my most cursed dice? Who knows?
I would imagine it's probably either Dex or Sleight of Hand, whichever one is your preference.
Brain moment. I mean, if we go Dex, it's 19.
Mm-hmm. We'll go with that one. As you catch it, it feels quite heavy, and it makes like a noise of like metal sliding up, like lots of little metal things sliding on metal. It's a bit of a weird noise, but as you look up, Lupus just kind of gives like a half wave and wanders into the town. As from what he's mentioned to you both, it seems like Penton's gone on walkabouts. Oh, that
Milo.
was unusual. Open it up, brother. I can't believe Mum sent us a gift.
Milo walks over and sits by the now broken bench that we're probably going to have to pay for, I guess. And sits by the currently loafed upon Karl and opens the satchel.
As you open, like it's like a small box, if you will. It's got a little purple ribbon on it that is very, very familiar, as it's the same ribbon that was just kind of pinned to Rosemary when Karl first got her. As you open it, inside is a small pouch of like pistol ammo for you, Milo. A little I'm trying to remember what it was now. I've got to find it. Hold on. No, don't forget this. Don't forget this. Come on, brain cells. There is a wristband. Or what looks like a wristband in there for Karl, and a very overstuffed looking pouch, and a letter. Let me just pop this in. Do you want to open it?
Yeah.
So, inside is like inside the actual letter. It seems all fancy and intricate and kind of amusing, as it's a very, very, very familiar sort of handwriting. Familiar handwriting. There we go. Lumen heck. That took me way too long to brain cell that. And inside is a very familiar handwritten letter. Oh my god, I'm so sorry. My brain cell is just crashing and burning. So, it appears to be a letter written from your mother. Surprise, surprise. And it reads the following. Dear my little dragons, I hope you've been well. It's been strange being at home without hearing one of you two play fighting with each other, but I suppose it'll be something I get used to. I sent you a little bit of pocket money from the forest guard. They seem to not miss you, but they send their regards and hope that you two are doing well, especially after what happened recently. But on a more personal note, I miss you both. It's strange being at home and it just being me and Casper. You two better come visit soon. Anyway, just remember, Mummy Devil loves you dearly. Don't let the don't let the bed bugs bite. And remember, you're both very much loved. Casper's been ranting on and on about coming to visit, but we want to make sure that you boys have a little bit of space from us every now and then. Just make sure to come visit us, don't forget about us. Alright, I should stop rambling in my letter. Love you both. And then it's signed from Karina. And inside the pouch is a total of, you'd say for each of you about 50,000 gil. So 100,000
A little bit of
total.
pocket money, okay.
I should
Oh my God.
I should point out the fact that during the letter where it said a little bit of pocket money, there was like a little winking face that that Karina had sketched in.
Oh my God.
Karl seems a little bit stunned. Wait, another sent us 50,000 each? What the hell? I mean, I'm not complaining, but what the what? Hello?
Well, she can go. She goes above and beyond.
Sounds like our mother. Right, scarf shopping. Let's go.
Yes.
We gotta work out what goes with a lilac color. Oh god, I hate colors. This is normally your thing. And the two of you end up wandering around the shop or shops. Please make sure you add. Actually, I'll add some ones. Anyway, we jump over to. We jump over to Penton. You've been on quite the wander, and you've ended up wandering around like the outskirts of the town, and it's been quite the experience. But you are approached by the guildmaster. Oh my god, okay, there you are.
Hello again.
Okay, we've got some information on the whereabouts of Xanis and Cae. I thought I'd let you know that we've got a meeting in a few hours.
Oh, that's great news.
Yeah, I thought you'd appreciate knowing, since well, you're still part of the guild of your group, and it seems like your lot have kind of dispersed everywhere.
I appreciate it.
Oh, something real quick. I thought I'd let you know. At my behest, Lycus has sorted something out for you for when you get back.
Something?
Mm-hmm. You'll find out when you get back. Just try not to spend too long out here, okay?
Okay. Can I ask one question?
Mm-hmm.
Why did you pat my head?
Is there a problem with it? I apologize.
It's just very confusing.
Well, I'm not entirely sure why. Just felt like the right thing to do.
Okay.
I mean, I could not do it again if you'd rather. I
No.
apologize.
It's fine. No.
Well, I guess it's out. I guess if I had to really pin it to something, it'd be out of habit. I usually do the same thing for Xanis when he's upset, and for most people, normally getting pat on the head normally makes most people feel a little bit better, or worse. I don't know. Anyway,
It does, actually. I wasn't expecting that.
I'm glad I could help. It's been a chaotic few weeks, and I'm sure with Ziffy's outburst at you and things with Mado and Mace returning out the middle of nowhere and you not really having Gort to go and speak with, it's probably been quite a confusing and uprooting few weeks, at least.
Oh, yeah, most certainly. It's been hard. It's been rough.
I'll have to resist the temptation to make a joke there. God, Reggie has been influencing my sense of humour way too much.
Reggie?
Yes, he's one of the people I used to work with. Way back when, before. God, this is going to make me sound old, but well before you were born, well before the slave. What a lot of people have been writing as the Slave and Saga books, and which are just modified history lessons, I guess. But he used to work with me quite a lot. He's a good friend of mine, but watch him, he's a bit of a sly bastard.
Oh, okay.
Specifically, watch him if he looks like if he's coming in to hug you or put his hand on your shoulder. Normally ends up being a bit more than just a pat on the shoulder. It's normally a slap on the ass. It's terrible.
One of those.
Yeah. One of your stereotypical folk from Rabbit Hovel, if you will.
Oh, he's a rabbit folk.
Well, yes.
I mean, that makes sense.
Yes, the guild is quite a variety.
Oh, I'll have to introduce myself at some point.
Just be careful.
Sure.
If not for the sake of everyone else, for your own sake, he can be a bit much, even for me, and I've dealt with his kind quite often. But
I'll
yes,
keep that in mind.
Make sure you drop past Lycus. He's got something prepped up for you, and might help you out a bit with what's to come. Anyway, I've got to head back up to the guild and make sure that the rest of your group haven't somehow found a way to murder each other. Oh, Demios. Demios is probably trying to do random shit again, or, just another explosion. I swear.
Oh, good luck with that.
I swear whoever lets Desmond near the catalyst stop, I'm going to murder them. Anyway, I'm rambling. I'll speak to you in a while. And Lupus wanders off. You do, however, as Lupus wanders away, a bit of curiosity in the back of your mind as to what the hell Lycus of all people has been told to prepare for you. But you do see Milo and Karl wandering around the clothing stores. Do you want to approach them, or do you want to stay back?
I'll stay back.
Understandable. I'm assuming you're gonna wander around a bit more for some mental alone time before heading back to the guild.
Yeah.
Okie dokie. Anyway, we clip back. We emotionally no clip back. We head back to the guild where Mira, Alice, Jasper, and the Pater brothers are currently in the guild room after the dragon twins have had their outburst, if you will.
Well, that was a bit chaotic.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I guess a bit.
I guess you don't just pick up random people's books. And you don't give them to Penton.
Yeah.
Hey,
It's,
we're learning new things every day.
yeah. I just want to go home.
Why do you want to go home?
I mean, it just doesn't feel like I belong here sometimes.
Well, what do you think, Jasper?
Sorry, what? I was just staring up into space.
Jasper's way more smart than me, you know.
Probably.
Yeah, exactly. Should Mira doesn't need to go home, right?
Yeah.
Exactly, Mira can stay here.
Yeah.
Just feel like no matter what I do, I'm always making someone else mad, even if I don't intend to.
Well, stealing someone's someone's diary would probably make them mad.
I didn't know it was a diary. I just thought it was a normal sketchbook, you know? I mean, if I dropped mine and someone opened it up, it would be fine because there's only pictures of trees in there.
Pictures of trees?
Yeah, some really nice trees. I'm sure you've seen them outside, Jasper.
I have seen trees, yes.
Yeah, there's some really pretty ones. I had a dream once that all the trees around the forest started growing legs. And then they ran after me. And then Lupus came in. Sorry, Godfather came in and blew them all up with a massive fireball.
You really confuse me sometimes.
Yeah, I get that a lot.
What do you think it means?
Are
you scared of trees?
I don't think I'm scared of trees, just... I don't know. Maybe I feel like I'm more with...
Maybe you view your godfather as this protector against the outside world for you.
Well, if there
That's
was
what it
to be a
means.
protector from the outside world, it'd be my father more than anything, and my mother. Again, I've never really been outside before.
Mira,
Hmm?
have you seen Jasper's brother today?
Who, Abraham?
Oh, not Jasper's brother then.
Wait, what do you mean, who?
The guy that you like.
I haven't told you anything about that.
I'm pretty sure you have.
Have I?
Yep.
When did I say that? I don't remember saying that.
Last session.
Did I? I do not recall this.
I will say
Simon,
out of character.
Not Simon.
I don't remember saying this.
Mira, I do believe you have mentioned to Alice that there is a guy
When?
that you do have interest in, but you haven't stated who it is.
I do not remember mentioning
Yes, you did. You did. You mentioned.
I very strongly remember this.
100% you did.
Okay, I'm gonna go with it. I do not remember this, but I'll go with it. No,
Well, I'm sure you asked Alice to keep it secret, so now is a great time for her to announce it in front of Jasper.
Oh, for God's sake. Alice, you promised you wouldn't tell anyone?
I didn't. I just asked a question.
Yeah,
Okay,
but Jasper's right there. You just, you know what this means, Alice.
I don't know anything. Okay, I don't know anything.
You know what this means, Alice. We had a
What?
pinky promise and you broke it.
No, we didn't pinky promise this
Yes,
one.
And are you sure? Because I have a mental memory of everything that we pinky promised. I know that when we were 5, or when, well, no, am I older than you?
See, you don't even know, so we didn't pinky promise this one.
Okay, but when I was 12 and you were however many years old, we made a pinky promise that you would give me your cake, and you did not give me your cake.
Well, I'll make you a cake.
That's not the same thing. Just back me up here. She did not give me her cake.
I just wanted to
Sorry,
know.
when you were 12?
Yeah.
When you were 12?
And we were 12.
Um,
I was 12.
Where? I'm gonna run. I just have to
I'm bringing
run.
Father Bear in. It's
I'm just
Father Bear!
I just realised I've got to do something. Bye.
Okay, have fun. Have fun.
So Jasper just books it out of the room like, fuck this. So yeah,
Father
that
Bear!
just happened.
Father Bear.
no.
Father Bear.
Uh,
Can you come here, please? We need you to help you settle a debate.
Oh, no, we don't.
Yeah, we do. Okay. If Alice promised to give me her cake when she was 12 and she didn't, does that make her a liar?
I'm sorry, what? What?
Okay, so when I was 12, Alice came over to my house and we had this really nice cake. And basically, she promised that she would give me her cake, and she did a pinky promise, okay? And then she didn't give me her cake. She never gave me her cake. And you know the rules of a pinky promise, don't you, Father Bear? If someone makes a pinky promise,
How your boyfriend is doing.
it's not. No, we're not talking about this. Don't try to change the
We
subject.
are.
If someone if someone breaks a pinky promise, yeah, you have to take their pinky.
I'm gonna take your boyfriend.
You
Once
bloody
I
well will
find
not.
out who he is and where he is.
No. What? No. This is not the conversation we are having. We are talking about the cake. We are not talking about you know who. Anyway.
But no, I don't know
What
who.
do you think? What are we? Mado, come over. We need you in this.
I would like, Mira, you to roll a perception check for me.
Ask for this.
What did you roll?
Perception. 11?
21.
Actually, 12.
Yeah, in the time that you've been having your debate with Alice, you look back and the door just swings. They've left. They both they both used their stealth and snuck out of the room while you two were debating, and the door is just kind of.
21, so I would have noticed.
Yeah, Alice, you've noticed that Mado and Father Bear have left, and Mira turns around.
Whoa, when did they leave?
They never left. No.
Oh, please don't add hallucinogens into another thing that I'm suffering from.
No, you're not. No. Okay, they left. Fine. You know what? I don't want to argue with you about, like, all of this. You know, like, this is... I'm so confused. I just wanted to ask about your boyfriend.
I guess if you promise to make me a new cake, then I can talk about it.
Yeah, I can make you a cake.
Do you pinky promise, though?
I'm not going to have any pinkies left if we keep doing this.
Yeah, that's a good point. How about we do a regular finger
Okay,
promise?
you know what we can do? We can do a thumb promise.
Thumb
Thumb
promise.
promise.
Yes. Okay, we'll do a thumb promise.
A thummus.
A thumb promise.
So you two
Okay,
somehow
both
managed to
thumb.
thumb promise each other Mira will be getting a cake baked especially by Alice. In the meantime, you hear a knock on the door, and the Guildmaster is there.
Who's
As
there?
he pops his head around the door. What's going on in here? I just watched Jasper sprint it out of the building and into the gardens, and Father Bear and Mado are hiding behind the door. What are you doing in here?
Lupus, you can help decide this, okay?
Mira,
When
are you being
I
an
was
idiot?
12.
Mira,
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
Mira,
Yeah.
you know I'm your godfather. You know I love and care for you. But you having what I like to tell you is a bit of a moment. You being a bit much.
Yeah, Dad said I was a bit much all the time.
What, your father? Was it Tuck that told you were a bit much?
Yeah, he says it quite a lot, but I think he means it affectionately. Because I'm just such a bundle of energy.
Because you're a MILF.
Yeah, oh my god, Lupus! I have the MILF gene. Made in loving family.
Mira, you realize that's not what it means, right?
What do you mean? It makes perfect sense.
Lupus walks into the room, sits down on the bed, or specifically on the bed that is normally, the bed that was where Father Bear and Mado were sitting.
I mean,
Are you two alright?
No.
Oh, I know you're not alright, Alice. You have to deal with Mira on the regular. But how are you two holding up?
well, not that great.
Yeah, she's been having issues.
Yeah, I can
More than
understand that.
normal.
Well, Alice, if I could ask you very nicely, would you like, if you go out of the room for a moment, go and ask Mado and Father Bear to help you make a cake for Mira. Not a big cake, not too much sugar, because you know.
I can do it by myself.
Alice, please. I know you like to do things by yourself, but please, it'll make it get done quicker and less mess. So it means you're not sweeping up all the flour off the floor. Please.
Oh, okay. They can do the cleanup. I'll do the.
Yeah, of course. They'll help you make sure that it's.
This sounds okay.
Able. Also, one other thing, your mother sent me a letter asking how you were. Do you want me to write her a letter back, or would you like to help me write a reply to your mother?
What did she write?
Well, she was asking how you were doing. She said that since you've come to work with the Sleeping Wolves, that your sister's been a little bit higher spirits, but your mother's been saying she's missing you a little bit, even though you did go and only visit her a few weeks ago. She's just wondering how you're doing.
Oh, she's so demanding, so attached.
She's demanding because she loves you. Plus,
okay, well,
she's the one that got you into the guild. I had to literally peel her off of me. She was clinging to me. And
no, she does a lot.
Does she ever get you with the strangle hug, where she's hugging you, but she hugs you a bit too high up and starts choking you by accident?
Oh, always.
Yeah, I got one. That happened to me for like the nth time when she was asking for you to come and join the guild. But if you like, you can help me write a reply. For now, I'd just like to have a word with Mira.
Okay. I'll go make you the best cake of your life.
Thanks, Alice. Thank you.
Okay, just gonna leave.
So, Alice, as you exit, both Mado and Father Bear just kind of put their finger over their mouths to like shush you and continue to listen, and they seem like they're listening in. And I'm gonna have them both roll persuasion, see if they can persuade you to just stay with them and listen in, or whether one or both of them is getting dragged off to go and help you make a cake. Okay, if you can make me a charisma. Actually, are you gonna listen in with them, or do you want to make a charisma save to see if they persuade you? Sorry, I did this out of order, but
I'll make a Christmas save.
okay. So I do know what they rolled, and the irony that the one with the brother with the better persuasion.
I rolled 17.
Okay, well, Father Bear doesn't seem to despite having the better the better persuasion ability, Father Bear doesn't really seem to convince you that much. But Mado rolled a what was it? Was it 22 total? Yeah, 22 total. To convince you to just stay in lesson for a few minutes.
Okay, she'll listen for a couple minutes and then go off and make the cake.
Okay.
With maybe Penton.
Yeah, Penton, you've arrived back to see Father Bear, Mado, and Alice all currently standing or crouched around the door.
Well, I can take a hint, so I guess I'll
stand
around as well.
Okay, so the four of you are now standing outside the door, listening in, as Lupus pats the bed beside him to encourage Mira to just sit down.
Yeah, I'll sit next to him.
Okay, let me just adjust who's where on this, because I need to remember who is where. Jasper's off on his own. You four outside the door. So, Lupus lets out a gentle sigh. Okay. I'm guessing you're not handling the news very well.
I guess that's one way to put it.
Well, I know it's hard, but I need you to understand that your mother made this choice for not only your sake, but because she knows that I can look after you. I know this is difficult for you, because it's a completely new thing. You've never not been able to go home before. But I want you to ask, what's the main thing that's on your mind right now?
I did not hear that.
Yeah, he asked what the main thing on Mira's mind right now is.
I guess everything's just so new. I mean, I've never been around this many people, and then pressed with everything else that's happening, it's all just so confusing. I mean, I'm doing all these things that I thought were normal, and I didn't want to upset or hurt anybody, but people just keep getting mad. even if I apologize, and I know that these things aren't okay now, but it's just hard with everything that I thought was okay is now just being a lie. I mean, I don't want to be mean to Penton. I'm sure he has his reasons for being like that. But he makes me really uncomfortable, and hearing about Father being this horrible person when I idolized him for so long, I don't know what's truth or what's fake anymore.
Well, if it helps, I can tell you some of the truths that you want to know, but just be aware it's not going to be an easy thing to hear. Your mother has tried her hardest to shield you from any real pain in the world, but the reason that you've been told to stay inside so often and never really let out is because of your father. That's something that you should know. Your mother cares for you a lot. I mean, she asked me and even pleaded with me to be your godfather. And while I must admit I initially took the offer to spite your father, you are cared about. I mean, hell, I care about most of the people that come to this guild. I shouldn't say this, but I purposefully rigged this year's new additions, if you will. So, you and Alice and Karina's twins would be in the same group, and that you could also have Xanis and Cae with you. So, you had a fair few familiar faces with you.
Yeah. It's just... Of course I love Alice, I love her so much, and of course I love Xanis and Cae, but the others just... I don't know how to explain it, but sometimes I feel like I'm getting somewhere, and then I do something and it puts me like 1,000 places back.
Have you tried doing things that don't seem normal to you? Like,
That don't seem normal?
yeah. You've
Like
been
what?
living inside most of your life, right? With
Yeah.
your mother and father, well, specifically your father not letting you go out much. So think of it this way, a lot of things that are normal to you aren't normal to everyone else. Like, I know Alice doesn't read many books, and she likes the sword fight. But you didn't really like to sword fight until your mother asked me to teach you. And I remember when you were still littler. Do you remember Uncle Sid?
Yeah, I do. I miss him a lot.
I miss him as well. He was a good man. But do you remember he was the one who taught you how to make little clockwork animals, and used to let you run around in his workshop all the time, and gave you those goggles that you wear.
Yeah.
Well, a lot of the people that like your mother, who helped fight Slaven, a lot of them didn't trust your father. And they have their reasons. They still do have their reasons. Like me, and would you rather me call him granddad or uncle, or how would you rather me refer to Zippy? I know you call me godfather, but
My uncle was fine.
yeah. Well, two of us never really got along with Tuck, your father. he wasn't a very nice man. And I know you think the world of him and you think he's a nice man, but unfortunately, he's not. I know that's a lot to take in. I know it's difficult, but it's the truth. I used to think the same thing about my mother before things happened, and the true side of who she was came to the surface.
But why would my mother be with someone so horrible?
Well, Mira, not everybody makes good choices. How do I explain it? Your mother was very much like you. She was full of energy, not the same kind of energy as you, but she had a lot of energy about her. She was a very sad, frightened girl. And I tried to show her that she could control that pain and sadness, and contain herself in a way where she could vent out that sadness in a constructive way that would help her build something better for herself. She fell in love with your father, and I wasn't very happy about it. But when you were about 9 or 10 years old, your father started changing. Do you remember? Do you remember Narek or Mr. Zilhorn?
Yeah.
Your mother pleaded with the goddess to bring your father back when you were very little. You probably wouldn't have remembered this, but your father was very old, and so your mother pleaded with the goddess Etro to bring your father back. And Mr. Zilhorn, or my friend Narek, gave up his life so that your father could keep going on.
Mm.
And at the time, we thought that he would be better. We thought that he would carry on being the pretty changed person he was. He seemed to be getting better. He wasn't the nicest person, but he had his heart in the right place.
I remember that. I think that was maybe the last time I ever saw him genuinely smile at me.
Yeah.
I mean, he would smile, but he never really reached his eyes, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And I just tried to ignore it, thinking that maybe he was just in a bad mood, but it sounds like from what you're telling me that it was more than that.
Lupus reaches round and hugs Mira, and in a very familiar way of what Fele used to do for Mira when she struggled to sleep, Lupus gently pats her hair. Don't you worry now. You're here with me and Uncle Zippy, and we're gonna go and get Xanis and Cae back. You'll have your best friends. And let's think. You got Father Bear. I'm sure he's nice to cuddle sometimes. We should ask him for a hug. He's very friendly. You've got Alice. She's trying her best to help you. She's not the smartest sometimes, but she does care about you. And while Penton is definitely a bit mean to you, you know, he's got his reasons as to why. But I'm sure that once he works out what's making him sad, he might be a bit nicer to you. And Milo and Karl, I know. I heard a bit of a row earlier before you came to the office, but I'm sure the three of you can get along. And you and Jasper seem to be making good friends, so
Yeah.
it's not all bad. I know it's not nice and it hurts a lot, but if you focus on the things that make you sad, you'll miss the things that make you feel happy. And I know it's hard to understand, but it's what worked for me. It might not work for you, but just remember that you're in a safe place. Your mother is fine. She's been keeping in contact with me by letter whenever something big has happened. She even sent some clothes over for you. I put them in your I got who did I ask to put them in your drawer again? I asked one of the guild members to give them a fresh clean for you and put them in your drawer for tomorrow.
Thank you.
Cheer up.
I'll try.
While this is happening, I would assume at this point that Alice, Mado, and Father Bear have probably left by now, or are in the process of leaving. And I'm going to have Lucas roll a perception check.
I'm actually crying. I actually burst into tears in the middle of that.
Oh.
You can probably tell at one point I was full of like.
You chewed that scenery.
Oh, I'm actually crying. If you look in Jester's Palace, I posted a picture of actual tears in my eyes. Oh.
Well, actrice.
I know. I don't have a GCSE in drama for no reason, folks.
Oh my god, I have a GCSE. Okay.
Oh my god, high five! I got a B.
A B? Sorry.
I
Anyway,
I got a B.
as this is happening, Father Bear and Mado kind of start pulling Alice away to go and make a cake. Penton, are you following, or?
Yeah, why not?
Okay, so the four of you,
Oh, Penton really hurt
after
me shit on him.
listening, after listening,
Yeah, you're getting a lot of ammunition.
Oops.
After listening to that, the four of you very quickly scuttle away. And however, inside the room, I had Lucas roll 2 hearing perception checks. I rolled a 16 and a 19 on the dice. I won't tell you what the end results are, but let's just say somebody knows who was where. Meanwhile, in one of the guild gardens is Jasper. You think you've been here for a few minutes, and you've managed to kind of get away from what was the Mirror Alice cake debate, as that's now going to be colloquially, whatever, I can't say that word. But you are currently in the gardens inside the guild. And you're back in the same place where that Wolvenite woman was, who was playing noughts and crosses with a shrub.
I'm just gonna lay in the grass and look at the sky until I think it's meeting time.
Okay. In the meantime, then, Alice, Penton, Father Bear, and Mado, the four of you are in the kitchen.
We're cooking.
Oh god. Okay. Father Bear immediately starts by setting temperatures for everything and getting out what you need. What kind of? And he turns to you. So, Alice, what sort of cake are we making for Mira?
Well, she really likes beef jerky.
Father Bear immediately frowns. I'm sorry, what?
It's her favourite food.
The frown
So-
hasn't left Father Bear's face, and Mado seems a
So-
bit concerned.
I was thinking maybe we do a beef jerky cake. Yeah, and we could like decorate it with bacon slices.
Alice,
Yeah.
Alice, darling, have you ever had a beef jerky and cake at the same time?
No.
Have you ever eaten either of them?
Yeah.
eaten cake? Have you eaten beef jerky?
actually. Oh wait, haha! I have eaten them at the same time. It was actually not that bad. Actually, we need to perfect the recipe. No,
Really?
we're doing this. We're doing this. Please stop.
You heard him. You heard him.
God. Might I suggest that we try something perhaps not jerky specifically, but if we're going to make something more savoury, I know myself and Mado have tried something a bit more on the savoury end before. Perhaps where is it? And the two Pater brothers start rifling around in the cupboards looking for something, and they pull out what appears to be some sort of like bacon, and on the actual container it's kept in, it reads maple cured behemoth. It appears to be some very very fancy looking bacon.
Oh yeah, we want bacon cake. Yeah, it's basically beef jerky, bacon cake. Guys, I have an idea. We make a chocolate cake, and then we put bacon slices on top, and then we put like maple syrup on top of that. Yeah.
Well, I suppose that can work.
That's Mary's favourite food.
Okay, so right, I need to work out what I'm doing.
Okay, I'm gonna tip all the ingredients into the bowl, and Father Bear, you're mixing it. And Penton, you're doing a funny dance.
Okay. Father Bear seems kind of reluctant to let Alice take the full wheel, but Mado kind of moves on in and offers to help.
No, Mado, you stand over there and look pretty. This is Alice's kitchen.
Alice's kitchen. What she says goes.
Yeah, you're doing a funny dance, Penton.
Yep, I'm trying to find my performance stat.
Okay, well, Father Bear is very much being insistent, and regardless of Alice's suggestion, Damar pretty much forces himself in there to at least do damage control and try and make sure that what Alice is doing is correct, under the guise of making sure it turns out perfectly, to assist them make sure. Meanwhile, I'm gonna have Mado roll seduction for a pose, and Penton, I need you to roll performance for a silly dance.
But everybody's all having it.
Whoops. Okay, so I'm gonna have Mado roll his seduction. Okay, that's a 17. That's not too bad. So Mado does the draw me like one of your That's okay. Mado does the draw me like one of your French girls pose on the counter that would normally be between the workspace and the wall where like seasonings and stuff would be like put. in preparation for being put into the big old pot. So that's an image you can enjoy of Mado posing. Penton, what did you roll in performance for your funny dance?
It's gonna be the best goddamn funny dance you ever saw.
Is it a nat 20?
I haven't rolled it yet.
Okay.
Oh.
Audible
It's
concern.
B, I said.
Okay. Audible concern.
24.
Okay.
Oh wow.
That's pretty good. So Penton starts doing a very strange dance, but it's pretty amusing.
And very alluring.
You'll have to apply seduction if you want it to be alluring, mister.
We'll do that.
Okay.
I'm applying seduction. Woo!
I can find the thing.
It will be underneath survival.
It'll be the same as the performance, won't it?
Yeah, I think so.
It's charisma based.
Yeah. Let me check. Also, man, it's so friggin' warm in here. And I have the fan going. Why is it so warm? Yeah, same as your performance. Hold on a minute. You forgot to remove your stat
Did I?
temporary
So
boost.
it's +5.
So yeah, it's 20.
A 20 I just rolled. It's not a 27, it's a 25.
Okay, so yeah, nat 20 and the performance
Jeez.
was 22. Okay, so yeah,
Yeah, my DC's 24.
yeah. So you know, Alice, you're getting a little bit flustered. You've got Penton definitely trying the moves, and then you've also got Mado on the side, just like, yeah, I'm here.
Oh my god.
So you've got two gentlemen being definitely seductive right now. So you're definitely getting a little bit flustered while you're baking, and Father Bear ends up doing about a solid 60% of the work.
Wowee. Penton, you have never looked better.
Thank you. It just comes naturally.
It really does.
Perhaps after that cake's in the oven, I can put something else in the oven.
Maybe I'll let you.
Anyway,
Tiny little,
I'm not.
just to the air.
Help me.
anyway, moving swiftly onwards, my brain cells, please help.
Okay, the cake's baked. Get your ass over here, Mirror.
Yeah, yeah, okay, it's come out well. Fucking hell.
Oh my god.
The combination of it being really warm in here and my brain trying to process a million miles an hour is just a headache. So, as you guys finish up, Mira ends up being brought into the room by Lupus, as there is now a somewhat sweet, somewhat savoury cake.
Mirror, here is your cake. I baked it all by myself,
Oh.
and it's beef jerky flavored. It's substitute beef jerky flavored.
Substitute? What do you mean by substitute?
It's you know, like for vegetarians, you know, it's like fake beef jerky.
But I'm not vegetarian. Why would you?
Yeah,
No,
no,
I'm
it
not.
doesn't matter. It's just what's in the kitchen, you know.
I'm going to
Anyway,
say I follow
eat it.
that here, because I want to see this reaction.
Eat it.
What? Well, I want to know what it actually is first.
Happy birthday
It's not my
to
birthday.
you.
It's Lupus out character. What
Happy
day is it?
birthday to-
It's definitely not Mira's birthday, I can tell you that much.
My birthday's like not until next year. It's nowhere close to March. What? Why?
Yeah, it would definitely be next year.
Mm.
Yeah, but happy birthday.
Okay. Okay. I'll take a bite out of it.
So as you take a bite of it, it's surprisingly nice. Like, sweet and savoury don't normally mix together well in cake form, but this is surprisingly pleasant. Like, it's got like a kind of the taste of bacon to it, but it's also got like a sweet syrup kind of taste to it, and it's overall a little bit of a conflicting experience, but it's kind of nice.
Oh, this is pretty good. You did well.
We've perfected the beef jerky cake recipe.
Yeah.
Ooh, best day of my life.
But seriously, what meat is this?
Behemoth.
Did you just say behemoth?
Yeah.
Oh, oh god. Oh, the baby must won't be happy.
Lupus kind of like intervenes for a second here and pats me on the shoulder.
It was vegetarian meat, it's fine.
It's
The baby moth. The baby moth. The baby moth. The baby moth.
Mira.
Yeah.
Don't worry. I can tell you right now, if it's what I think got used, and Lupus kind of squints at Father Bear to confirm, which Father Bear very quickly nods in response. It was a wild behemoth that was attacking one of the local areas. We made sure that, it wasn't one that we could make friends with. So don't worry. I wouldn't be trying to eat behemoths that weren't big meanies. And he kind of cringes at himself for calling it that, but.
Oh, well, I guess it would go to waste otherwise, but I hope the baby moth won't be mad.
Trust me, the baby moth probably won't be mad.
What
Considering
have I done wrong? It's just a cake.
Yeah, but every time Father brought behemoth in, he would always glare at people. I think he knows.
Anyway. Lupus looks over to the two that aren't, the other two that are currently, one of which is spread-eagled, draw me like one of your French girls pose, and Penton, who has not been told to stop doing his seductive dance, and Lucius is very confused. What? No? Okay, I'm just going to accept that's a thing and move swiftly onwards. I hope you guys know we have a meeting in a few minutes, so...
You don't need to know what it was, you just need to know that it worked.
Has never looked more sexy.
Well, perhaps... No, actually I can't...
I feel meant to be scarred by this.
Mado, why? Actually, no, I already know what's going on there. Don't need to ask. Alice, I can definitely respect your method of cooking. I'll give you that much.
I'm a professional!
You could use a bit of work, but maybe I'll teach you at some point. I mean, I taught your cousin how to sword fight. I'm sure I can teach you how to cook. It can't be that difficult a mission. Also, Mr. Oleno, do you mind stopping, please? I've already got enough things on my brain. I don't need a seductively dancing rabbit on the mind as well.
Of course, sir.
There are so many things my brain can process at once. And Lupus just after having that little musical jingle to himself, Lupus just kind of awkwardly shuffles out of the room, leaving you all to your own devices. We then have... You guys are aware the meeting is in a couple of minutes.
Yes, but I'm far too distracted by Penton right now.
I cover Alice's eyes.
Sure. Anyway.
Alice, your purity must be protected.
I can see him in my dreams.
Then I'm going to keep you awake for the rest of your life. This is not sanitary.
Penton.
No, stop. Just no.
Mado gets off the counter and just kind of pats Penton on the shoulder. Well, you certainly seem to have a bit of talent to you. Just try not to overextend too much, buddy. and kind of like has like his kind of like if he was going for a fist bump, but just kind of holds it there as a sign of trying to be friendly.
So he's requesting a fist bump?
Yeah, of course.
Okay, I will reciprocate and give a fist bump.
Okay. Oh my god, I can't. Oh, excuse me for being slow. My headache has been progressively getting more and more.
So we've got a couple of
Okay.
minutes to go, have we?
Hmm?
Okay, I guess I'll start heading out then.
Okie
And I'll
dokie.
just turn to Alice and I'll say, yeah, come see me after the meeting and we'll have a little fun. And I'll just leave.
Coming. I'll be right there.
Okay, so the meeting is being held in Lupus's office. You are all gathered in one space. Lupus looks a little bit flustered, but you can't tell whether it's just because his brain is all over the place and trying to process what the fuck has happened over the last few hours of the day. Or, if he just has a lot on his mind. It's kind of hard to tell, but he's all over the place. Right, okay. All of you are present, then I can just roll straight into this. So, as you all know, Cae got taken, Xanis got taken, Mace managed to somehow get into the guild. We found where they are. Finally.
You're certain?
For certain.
Let's go get him then.
We'll be departing shortly. But, oh, God. Sorry, out of character, my headache is just... Okay, back in character, boy, come on.
10 minutes, 10 minutes.
10 minutes. Anyway, we're gonna be heading out to the Floss Crypt. They were where we thought they were. And... I don't know. I'm coming with you all. We'll be working together for the entirety of this. I'm aware that Mace is present at the crypt, and God knows what's happened to Xanis and Cae in the meantime while we've been trying to find them. But regardless of what happens, we get in there, we get them, we get out.
Sounds good.
Understood.
Thank you. Okay. So, trying to think of what else. Lupus puts down his rapier on the table for a moment, takes a deep breath, and looks to the rest of you. Please make sure you've gathered your things together. I would appreciate if you could all make sure you're here within the next few hours, as we're going to be travelling overnight. We have somewhere prepped and ready in Floss to make sure that we are going to be, I guess, tended to when we arrive. That's all I can think of for now. Please, if you wish, scatter. And Lupus just sits at the desk, head on table, and just lets out a very frustrated sounding groan. Also, something to note, Lupus is just kind of letting out frustrated noise of irritation. He clicks his fingers together, and Jasper, the tag you have currently on one of your ankles temporarily deactivates. It would seem that you are being trusted with your freedom for the mission, but depending on how you do, we'll decide whether you regain that freedom to leave the building or not.
I guess we're in the same boat then.
At this point, Lucas just kind of waves, his head is down on the table, and like the level of stress on this man is visible. As he's just kind of waving you all to leave.
We leave.
Yeah, he wants us to leave, so leave.
Okay.
Okay. I am going to end the session there. That's a pretty good note to leave off on. So thank you all for watching, and we'll see you next week for the next session.
Bye-bye.
Bye.